Hello Mark, I'm Eden. My number is S0341008. Today I read Alessandra Orofino. It's our city, let's fix it. Posted November 2014, rated inspiring, informative. And Eden, my number is S0341008 and my level is junior. 54% of the world's population lives in our cities. In developing countries, one-third of that population is living in slums. 75% of global energy consumption occurs in our cities, and 80% of gas emissions that cause global warming come from our cities. So things that you and I might think about as global problems, like climate change, the energy crisis, or poverty, are really, in many ways, city problems. They will not be solved unless people who live in cities, like most of us, actually start doing a better job, because right now we are not doing a very good one. And that becomes very clear when we took into three aspects of city lives. First, our citizens' willingness to engage with democratic institutions. Second, our city's ability to really include all of their residents. And lastly, our own ability to live fulfilling and happy lives. When it comes to engagement, the data is very clear. Voter turnout around the world peaked in the late 80s, and it has been declining at a pace that we have never seen before. And if those numbers are bad at the national level, at the level of our cities, they are just dismal. In the last 2 years, two of the world's most consolidated oldest democracies, the US and France, held nationwide municipal elections. In France, voter turnout hit a record low. Almost 40% of voters decided not to show up. In the US, the numbers were even scarier. In some American cities, voter turnout was close to 5%. I will let that sink in for a second. We are talking about democracy cities in which 95% of people decided that it was not important to elect their leaders. The city of LA, a city of 4 million people, elected its mayor with just a bit over 200,000 voters. That was the loudest turnout the city had been in 100 years. Right here in my city of Rio, in spite of mandatory voting, almost 30% of the voting population choose to either renew their votes or stay home and play a fight in the last mayoral elections. When it comes to inclusiveness, our cities are not the best cases of success either. And again, you don't need to look at very fair in order to find proof of that. The city of Rio is incredible unequal. This is Lebron. Lebron is the city's richest neighborhood, and this is complex, so to elect more. This is well over 70,000 of the city's poorest residents live. Lebron has an HDI, a Human Development Index of 967. That is higher than Norway, Switzerland, or Sweden. Complexo to Alexmer has an HDI of 711. It sits somewhere in between the HDI of Al- Algeria and Gabon. So real, like so many cities across the global south, it's a place where you can go from northern Europe to Saharan Africa in a space of 30 minutes. If you drive, that is. If you take public transit, it's about 2 hours. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, cities with the incredible wealth of relation that lack enable can be the ideal places for human happiness to flourish. We like being around people. We are social animals. Instead, countries where ur- urban urbanization has already peaked seem to be the very countries in which cities have started making us happy. The United States population has suffering from a general de- decrease in happiness for the past 3 decades, and the main reason is this. The American way of building cities has caused good quality public space to virtually disappear in many American cities. And as a result, there have been a decline of relations, of the things that make us happy. Various studies show an increase in solitude and a decrease in solidarity, honesty, and social and civic participation. So how do we start building cities that make us care? Cities that value their most important assets, the incredible diversity of the people who live in them. Cities that make us happy. Well, I believe that if we want to change what our cities look like, then we really have to change the decision-making process that have given us the result that we have right now. We need a participation revolution, and we need it fast. The idea of voting as our only exercise in citizenship does not make sense anymore. People are tired of only being treated as empowered individuals every few years when it's time to delegate the power to someone else. If the protests that swept Brazil in June 2013 have told us anything, it's that every time we try to exercise our power outside of an electoral context, we are beaten up, humiliated, or arrested. And this needs to change because when it does, not only will people re-engage with structures of representation, but also complement these structures with direct, effective, and collective decision making of the kind that takes equality by its very inclusive nature. Decision making of the third that can change our cities into better places for us to live. But there is a catch, obviously. Enabling widespread participation and redistributing power can be a logistical nightmare, and that's where technology can play an incredible helpful role by making it easier for people to organize, communicate, and make decisions without having to be in the same room at the same time. Unfortunately for us, when it comes to fostering democratic processes, our city governments have not used technology to its full potential so far. Most city governments have been effective at using tech to turn citizens into human sensors to save authorities with the data on the city. But though these fallen trees or broken lamps, they've also to a laser extent, invite people to participate in improving the outcome of decisions that were already made for them. Just like my mom when I was 8 and she told me that I had a choice. I had to be in bed by 8 p.m., but I could choose my pink pajamas or my blue pajamas. That's not participation. And in fact, governments have not been very good at using technology to enable participation in what matters. The way we allocate our budget, the way we occupy our land, and the way we manage our natural resources. Those are the kind of decisions that can actually impact global problems that manifest themselves in our cities. The good news is, and I do have good news to share with you. We don't need to wait for government to do this. I have reasons to believe that it's possible for citizens to build their own structure of participation. 3 years ago, I co-founded an organization called Muriel, and we make it easier for people in the city of Rio to organize around causes and places that they care about in their own city, and have an impact on those causes and places every day. In these past 3 years, Muriel grew to a network of 160,000 cities of Rio. About 40% of those members are young people aged 20 to 29. That is 1 in every 15 young people of that age in Rio today. Among our members in this adorable little girl Bia to your right, and Bia was just 11 uh, 11 years old when she started a campaign using one of our tools to save her model public school from demolition. The school actually ranks among the best public schools in the country, and it was going to be demolished by the Rio de Janeiro state government to build. I kid you not, a parking lot for the World Cup right before the event happened. Bia started a campaign, and we even watched her school 24/7 through webcam monitoring, and many months afterwards, the government changed their mind. Bia's school stayed in place. There's also Jovita. She's an amazing woman whose daughter went missing about 10 years ago, and since then she has been looking for her daughter. In that process, she found out that first she was not alone, and the last year alone. 2013, 6,000 people disappeared in the state of Rio, but she also found out that in spite of that, Rio had no centralized intelligence system for solving missing persons cases. In other Brazilian cities, those citizens have helped solve up to 80% of missing persons cases. She started a campaign, and after the Secretary of Security got 16,000 emails from people asking him to do this, he responded and started to build a police until specialized in those cases. He was open to the public at the end of last month, and Jovita was even giving interviews and being very fancy. And then there in Leonardo. Leonardo is an amazing guy in the slum in Rio, and he created a recycling project in the slum at the end of last year. December 17, he received an eviction order by the Rio de Janeiro state government, giving him 2 weeks to leave the space that he had been using for 2 years. The plan was to hand it over to a developer who planned to turn it into a construction site. Leonardo started a campaign using one of our tools, the pressure cooker, the same one Latvia and Jovita used, and the state government changed their minds before Christmas even. These stories make me happy, but not just because they have happy endings. They make me happy because they are happy beginnings. The teacher and parent community at VR school is looking for other ways they could improve that space even further. Leonardo Lindro has ambitious plan to take his model to other low-income communities in Rio, and Jovita is volunteering at the police until that she helped create via Jovita and Lindra are living examples of something that citizens and city government around the world need to know. We are ready. As citizens, we are ready to decide on our common destiny, destinies because we know that the way we distribute power says a lot about how we actually value everyone, and because we know that ennobling and participating in local politics is a sign that we truly care about our relations to our another, and we are ready to do this in cities around the world right now. With our cities network, the real team hope to share what we have learned with other people who want to create similar initiatives in their own cities. We have already started doing in Sao Paulo with incredible results. I want to take it to cities around the world through a network of citizen-centric, citizen-led organizations that can inspire us, challenge us, and remind us to demand real participation in our city lives. It's up to us to decide whether we want schools or parking lots, community-driven recycling project or construction sites, loneliness or solidarity, cars or buses, and it's our responsibility to do that now, for ourselves, for our families, for the people who make our lives worth living, and for the incredible creativity, beauty, and wonder that make our cities, in spite of all their problems, the greatest inventions of our times. Abrogado, thank you, applause. And Adam, my number is S034108, and my devil is Junior. Thank you for your listening, and see you.